Hello YouTube, welcome to another video. We're continuing the R&D of I think that this knife is going to be christened the Woodsman, WC Woodsman, but we're still in the R&D phase, and I've got several knives out that's being tested by other individuals, so we'll hold off on the debut or the introduction until then, but I'm 99.9% sure that this one is going to be called the WC Woodsman. Okay, so here is my reviews at this point, comparing three different knives, and basically let me move the camera around and I'll show you these knives and talk about them for a second, so hang on. Okay, let's see if I can do this without getting in this big ant bed here. This is the original knife that started the whole process of this design and this Woodsman's concept. So it's the original knife. And then as I've been playing with the design, I decided to go with a finger choil, and this knife is going to Brian. Brian's the one that kind of got me started on this dual grind concept. We was talking a year or so ago, about a year and a half now, I guess, and on a Google chat, and he asked me about the tracker and if I would design and make a tracker for him, and we kept passing designs back and forth, but we never actually came through with it. But that got me to thinking about this dual grind, and so this is where we're at this point, and this is Brian's knife for him to review and test and give me his thoughts on it, and to say thank you for challenging me on that design or that grind. And this is the another knife that I made to test out. It has the double logo stamp. As you can see on both of these knives, they're still prototypes. The double logo stamp is a new thing for me. I am, if there is a prototype or a concept knife, I am using a double stamp to indicate that is a concept knife or a prototype. And there may be some aesthetic issues that hasn't been fully developed and worked out yet, like grind lines and things like that that may not be completely 100% to my satisfaction. Okay, so anyway, these are the knives that's going to be used in this R&D testing. So here's some testing. Enjoy. Using the Woodsman's knife here to cut out a leather sheath, just to see how well the blade design would work in leather. And this is an 8 to 9 ounce leather, so it's very thick material. The knife did very well. I'm not going to say it excelled at it, because it's not the ideal knife for that. Typically you'd want a very thin bladed knife. Here I am actually using it to carve out thumb scallops in a crooked knife handle. And this is seasoned maple, so it's very dense material. But again, the knife performed very well. Even doing the intricate work as far as doing the curved cuts for that scallop on the thumb, was really pleased with how well the knife performed. And now I'm carving out the indentation for the blade on the crooked knife, and get that tip in there and work it to cut that cross grain material. The knife with that pointed tip, the revised tip, it actually works as a great carver. As you can see in these videos, it gets into those little crooks and crannies and gets that material out. The edge held up very well throughout this whole process. Of course, I'm using this knife here as a CPM S35BN steel, so it's a very high quality steel. Even when I'm getting the tip in there, working out that recess for the blade angle, the knife worked great. Is it the ideal knife for it? No. I would prefer a Sloyd knife, a small little carver, but in a pinch this knife would works very well with this. And here I am doing a decorative design just to see how well it would do. And again, it got the job done. So overall, I'm very satisfied with how well the knife worked performed. I'm using the Woodsman's knife to chop through about a 2-inch piece of pin oak. We're going to use this piece of wood for a little project just to do some further R&D on the knife and research and development. And I actually went through it very easily, a lot better than I expected, so I was quite surprised. I'm batoning the piece down. We need to get a flat piece so that we can do a net needle. Morris Kahansky's always said that if a knife can't carve a net needle, then what good is it? So who am I to argue with Mr. Kahansky? So we're going to try to do half of a net needle, at least get a feel for it. I don't expect to finish the net needle, but at least get part of it done to where I can get an idea if the knife's going to actually perform it, how well it performs anyway. It does the divots quite nicely. See, it's got 3 divots there. Drill those out quite easily, actually, especially it being pin oak. It's a very dense wood. And again, the tip gets in there very, very nicely and removes that material, even cross grain. Very happy with it. It's not the ideal wood carver, but it'll do. So I think we're a success on this little task, and we'll move on to the next one. So this morning I was playing around with the original prototype on the Woodsman, and I thought maybe I'd show it as well. I was finishing up the little net needle I started yesterday with the latest prototype, and actually I keep going back to the original prototype. The original design that got me going on this this concept. As you can see, it carves beautifully. It's just a phenomenal knife. I love this knife. Right there, the narrowness of the blade allows you to get in there and just make those curved cuts. It's beautiful the way it handles. The more I carve with these knives, the more I just love this dual grind. Here I'm using it as a draw knife, like you would a crooked knife, drawing it to yourself, and they both of them just eat the wood up. It's just amazing how this grind works. It's a complete square board right there, and then I got a piece of device using it as a draw knife, two-handed, and again, that Scandi just is amazing. Using the choil here to round that corner off, and talking about some fine shavings and scrapings right there. This knife, these grinds would be wonderful making axe handles and boat handles, boat paddles and things like that. Whatever you would need in the woods. Just think about the carving you could do with these. A bow stave. I mean, you could use these knives as a draw knife on bow staves. It's just phenomenal the way they work. And I tried the new design with the finger choil. It's the same result. Either one would work fine. Just depends on whether you would like the finger choil or not. I'm just amazed at how well they carve and handle. It's not really a large knife. They're about 6.5 inches from tip to handle. Depends on whether you want the finger choil or not. And but they handle like a larger knife when they need to, and a smaller knife when you need a smaller knife. So the balance on them is just fantastic. I am very impressed with these knives, and that gives you a comparison between the two. The new finger choil and also the original without the finger choil. Here I am sharpening it. There's been some concern over how easy it is to sharpen and maintain, and so I was demonstrating how I do it with a diamond rod. And you can do some touch-up work with a ceramic rod, and it'll do the same thing. Um, it's really not much different than sharpening in a cookery. You just need to make sure that you follow that 11 to 12 degree scandy all the way from the back curve to the tip of the knife, because that same degree bevel follows it all the way through. So once you get your angle right on the scandy, you just follow it all the way through from that point to the tip. It's very simple. Uh, Probably a couple of times sharpening the knife and you'd have it down. It's not that difficult. It's just a matter of a couple, 3 strokes, and that edge is right back to shaving sharp. And I'll demonstrate that shortly. It even gets that curve in there, and that choil, that curve for the scandy. And that was real time, folks. That was not speeded up or edited. That was real time. Also, stropping was another question. Could you strop the knife? Which I don't really strop it. I'm just cleaning the edge here. But yeah, if you wanted to polish the edge, you could strop it if that's the edge that you prefer. And just like that, it's right back shaving sharp. Of course, the hair on my arm is very light. It's hard to see, but it does shave very well. Well, I hope you enjoyed that and got some good benefits out of it. Get the old thought process going on it. I've really enjoyed these knives. It's been a while since I've been excited about a knife design, but I am truly excited about this. This is a phenomenal concept, I think. Now there is, like I say, there is other knives out there that's being tested and by other people, and they're going to give me their feedback, and we'll see if they think it's a phenomenal grind. Let me say this, that I am not saying that I am the first person on earth who created a dual grind. That's not what I'm saying. There is no new knife designs under the sun. There's just no new knife designs. How we take original knife designs and combine them, change things here and there, that's how we make a unique design. It's not completely unique because it's going to resemble some other knife somewhere. It's just a given. That's going to happen. Until I started doing this, someone mentioned that that Mr. Lovelace had actually done a dual grind he called the duplex. I didn't know that. He told me about it, so I did a little research, and sure enough, he did. He did a saber that was combined with a full flat, phenomenal looking knife. I mean, he is the master. So, I mean, this concept has been around a long time, even before the tracker. So the tracker was not the first one to come out with a dual design. As far as I know, it may have been Mr. Lovelace that did it. I'm not sure, but he might have got it from somewhere else. I don't know. But I am not saying that I have developed and designed a knife with a dual grind and I'm the first person to do this. That's not what I'm saying. I am the first person that I know of that has taken a scandy, a curved scandy, and married it with either a saber or a full flat. I don't know of anybody else who's done that. The Mora 2000 has a scandy that is straight that goes into a curved saber that, or full flat, I think is the 2000's full flat, that is close, but it's not quite exact. So, with that said, I hope you understand that I am not saying that I invented this grind, because I haven't. I'm just taking it a little step, a different step, maybe a sideways step from the other designs, and trying to get a little bit more benefit out of it, in my opinion, because I like curves. I think curves cut better than straights. So straight has its place, but I think that in certain cases a curve works better in certain cases, and that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to take the optimum parts of different grinds and different blade shapes to make what I consider the ultimate or the best woodsman's knife that I can come up with. That is the goal. Okay? So, until the next one, you guys be safe. Get out in the woods. Go in the backyard, whittle on a stick, build a fire, roast a weenie, marshmallow. Do something outdoorsy. Take a child with you. And if you do, take plenty of Band-Aids and lots of knives. We'll catch you again soon.